Hi everyone. So for my exploration of intersectionality regarding the When They See Us series, I wanted to talk about Antron's mom. I think her name was Linda. Linda McRae. But I wanted to discuss the intersectionality of her being African American and also a woman, dealing with the criminal justice system regarding her own son, because I feel like typically in the media or just within like pop culture, we usually portray like black males as like the stars, like the center of all the attention, the people that receive the most sorry, my dog is being loud. The ones that receive the most attention. And I really appreciated that When They See Us kind of shed a spotlight on the mothers as well and their experiences, because I feel like that's something that we don't really do. That's something that we don't really do as a culture. There's a lot of black erasure, but also black woman erasure. And I was actually, like, that was the first thing I had thought of, so I kind of started to look some things up, and I found a article by Kimberly Crenshaw called Demarginalizing the Intersection of Race and Sex. And it kind of talks about how black women's experiences with popular media or just in general day-to-day life, we tend to forget about them. Like, she references a book called All Women Are White, All the Blacks Are Men, and Some of Us Are Brave. And I think that's a really good way to kind of encapsulate it, because we do often, like, thinking of women as a whole, we'll put a color and the color is white, and when we think of men as a whole in this instance, we would think of them as black. But we don't really step away and think, well, how were their family members affected? How was their community affected? How were their siblings, their friends, their significant others? Like, who else was involved and how were they impacted? So I do think that the Netflix series did portray this intersectionality of the women in a positive light, because it did give them that voice. But just regarding the general intersectionality of black women, like Dr. Megan had said in the lecture thing, there are a lot of significant differences between like pay gaps and just being a woman of color. We don't receive the same kind of treatment that we would if we requested a raise as would a man. We pay a mom tax by having children. We're often discredited for having strong opinions, and we come off as aggressive. And I feel like those types of aspects were also portrayed in the Netflix series, because during the court case, there was a lot of people that kind of discredited what the mothers were saying, treated the mothers like they weren't really a big part of the case, even though these were their sons' lives at stake. So I thought that was a really interesting portrayal of the intersectionality, because it did give the women a voice, but it also still portrayed how women are a little bit more like told to be quiet, like the men are talking kind of lingo that goes on when it's something to do with like the criminal justice system or like legal system. But yeah, that's all my thoughts.